Today class, we will learn to estimate with percent. And our objective, which is on the board, is convert among decimals, fractions, mixed numbers, and percent. And you should achieve this with at least 70% accuracy. Your agenda is on the board for today as usual. So we're going to be doing what today?
Estimate with percent.
Learn to estimate with percent. These are your vocabulary words. Estimate. What does estimate mean? Compatible, numbers, and benchmark. So estimate means to do what?
Round.
To round. Some problems require only an estimate. Estimates involve percents and fractions, can be found by using compatible numbers, numbers that go well together because they have common factors. That's what we're going to be looking for, common factors, in order to estimate. If you want to, go ahead and take notes, because this is going to be helpful when you do the group project. This is going to be helpful, so go ahead and write that table down. 5% when it's converted over to decimal is 0.5, and fractions is 1 out of 20. Okay, and your 10% is 0.1, because you're going to drop the percent and move the decimal over how many spaces? Two spaces to your left or right? Excuse me?
Left.
2 spaces to your left. So when you're dropping the percent, you're moving your decimal over 2 spaces to the left. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay, this is very important that you know this, because of the simple fact, when you do complete the project, that's what you're going to be doing with the percent. You're going to drop the decimal and move it 2 spaces to your left. Dejanay, give me the first column for percent.
5%, and then the decimal is 0.5, and then the fraction 120.
120. Now, 1 out of 20, how did they get 120 as a fraction? What did they do? It's out of what?
100.
100. So 5 over 100. 1 would go into itself, 5 would go into itself 1 time, and 5 would go into 100 how many times?
20.
Okay, very good. What is the fraction?
1 over 4.
1 over 4. How did I achieve the fraction of 1 over 4?
1 over 100. I mean 100 over 100. 25 over 100.
25 over 100. You can look at 25 over 100 as if you had 4 quarters, and they're all 25 cents, right? So 4 quarters are 25 cents. And if I have 1 quarter, it's 1 out of 4. So 4 quarters, and you can look at it that particular way when you're confused at whether or not 25% is equal to 1/4. So you can look at it as 4 quarters, then so forth to 66.6%. You move your decimal over how many spaces?
2.
And what does that line mean that's over the percent? A repeating decimal. Okay? So 100% is what? 1, because it's 1 whole. Okay, 30% plus 5%. Break down the percent into smaller parts. So we broke it down into smaller parts. So 3 times 10% plus the 5%. So 35% times 120. They're breaking it down into smaller parts. 3 times 10% plus 5% times the 120. You can set it up in equation form. Does anybody have an answer for me? 36% of 120 is what? Okay, you're going to change it to a decimal. Okay, you move it over 2 spaces to your left, and you can write down 86. Write down 86, and then you can say times. But when you learned it, put the times underneath. Put it underneath, right to your side. Put times 0.29. Okay. When you're changing this to a decimal, you drop your percent, move over to your left, okay? And then you can have it times 0.29. So you would know how to multiply that particular way, right? If your calculator stops working, you know how many spaces is going to be behind the decimal in your answer. How many? How many numbers do you have behind? Two spaces. So go ahead and do it that particular way. Okay? What is the question asking us to do? About how much will she pay? Okay? What was another key term that we needed to use for It says, and Maria wants to leave a what? 15% tip. So that will be another key term that you would underline. 15% tip. How would you estimate 21% of 66?
Divide.
What does of mean?
Divide.
What does it mean?
Multiply.
Multiply. Okay, so 21% of 66 means to multiply. So on your notes, you should put of means to what?
Multiply.
Of means to multiply. Okay, write 20% as a fraction. How would I write 20% as a fraction? 20 over 100, and that's equal to?
1/5.
1/5. So we're going to stop here, and we're going to allow you to go around the room and work those problems based on going shopping at Doaks discount store. And everybody get a pen. 3 go here, 3 go there, and 3 can go back here. If you take your calculators with you, you have $20 to spend. You're going to go shopping at the discount store, which is back here, and you're going to come and get a bag, and you're going to get items, and you're not going to go over $20. You're going to choose whatever items you would like, and then you're going to complete your discount, your sales price, your sales tax, and then your total cost. Where it says Doaks discount, you're going to add up whatever you shop for and put that total in Doaks discount. And then you're going to proceed in solving your discount first, your sales price, your sales tax, and your total cost. So everyone, one person out of the group can come shopping. When you get to the sales tax,
No.
what do you do?
Add.
Add.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So after you multiply, you add your sales tax on top of your sales price. So what did you get for your total? Group 2 stayed within their budget so far, and they're the closest ones to getting the merchandise that they purchased. Group 3, go through and tell me what you did.
We went shopping at Doaks discount store, and we spent $17.30 when we had $20. Our discount was free.
We bought all our stuff. Our total was $18.44. And then we subtracted the 4% discount from $18.44, and we got $17.07.
We have gone through each step in each project, in each group. Is there any questions that you have in reference to this particular project? This experience? What kind of experience how did you feel?
I feel good. I
You went shopping, okay? Okay, you enjoyed it. How did you feel about this particular project? It was fun, but did you get a little bit frustrated?
Yes.
Okay, so really in actuality, one thing that you can do when you're going shopping, actually go shopping with your mom when she goes to the grocery store, and take a calculator and add up, and then there's always tax, and you can just estimate. Estimate what percent you're going, you add up everything, and you can estimate before she gets to the counter and say, Mom, your total is going to be right. And give them the amount that your total grocery is going to be. Because if you do like group 1 and overspend, then you have to put some items back, right?
I ain't go to the store.
So basically, you don't want to have to put anything back. Because sometimes a lot of people get a little bit embarrassed because they don't have enough money. So get in the habit of estimating, and then you wouldn't have basically any problem as far as going over your budget. Well, the object of the game is really just estimating with percent, and the object was for the ones that came up with the closest to $20, got to keep the merchandise that they purchased. But since you guys were all such great participants in this particular project, everybody gets to keep their hand.